What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another great edition of Late Night Reds. He's Ben Brown. I'm Skylar Wepker. Ben, I know I kind of vented to you right before we hopped on, but how are you doing?
Not bad. Actually, I know you had the hard loss with the Bengals. I lost Cam Scottaboo, so it's a rough day. It's a rough day. It's a rough day. So
I mean, at least we can agree that these Steelers uniforms are
atrocious.
horrible.
Dude, my wife literally just said that. She's like, those are the ugliest things I've ever seen. They're atrocious.
Yeah, they are so very bad. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't believe Mike Tomlin let it happen.
Yeah, that's not good at all. I mean, it's even bad for TV. Like, it just looks bad on TV.
Yeah. Well, I guess we are a baseball podcast, and for us Cincinnati Reds fans, obviously the season is over. Has been over. The World Series, we have our matchup. It's the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Great series so far. 1-1 each game. So we'll see if, by the time we get on next week, we'll have an actual World Series champion and finally get to start getting into free agency and speculation and everything like that. But before that, I kind of just want to run through some Cincinnati favorites, kind of just, I don't know, storytell tonight about what we loved about these players, our favorite memory of these players. And chat, feel free to hop in and give us what you remember about these players, or maybe favorite memory of these players. We got quite a few here, Ben. I don't know if you had a chance to add some more, but we'll just kind of tell stories tonight.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It's a lot of fun to think back, because as you sent that out this afternoon, I was just thinking of all the guys on this list, and what I remember about them. And it's not even really like specific memories, just things that have tied to, like, my kid or myself as a kid, or whatever the case may be. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, man, like, every person on that list I have some kind of tie to, or I can remember something cool about that person, as far as just in my personal history or in Reds history. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I guess that's the beauty of baseball, and the beauty of this game is you attribute either memories of these players or watching these players to some part of your life, or maybe, like you said, a kid's life or a special moment. And these are things that we get to like pass down to one another, pass amongst each other, which is super fun. Like I said, chat, hop in, tell us your favorite stories about some of these players. But we'll start it off with the Cincinnati kid, Pete Rose. I have some. Let me add it. Share screen. I have just photos of everybody pulled up, and some videos too. But to me, this was the memory of Pete Rose, was the head first slide.
Yep.
I don't know if you got to watch his documentary on HBO, but C. Trent Rosecrans was on, and they're talking about kind of the simulations between him and Ty Cobb. And Ty Cobb would always slide into base cleats first, your safety be damned, where Pete Rose would always slide in head first, my safety be damned. And it was just a cool moment. But Charlie Hustle obviously is the key term here, but just something about that head first slide, you just literally see him bounce off of the ground as he's sliding. He would dribble himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Two of my favorite things, and one, of course, I wasn't alive for, but the Ray Fosse run over in the All-Star game. That's probably one of my favorites, just because, like, how competitive the All-Star game was. Like it meant something. And for two guys that are All-Stars that mean a lot to their teams, and for him to just throw caution to the wind in an All-Star game and literally truck a dude to win, I thought was pretty sick. Now, wasn't good for Ray Fosse, of course, it ended his career, um, but yeah, just to see that, um, you know, and that's in that sense, it was always that way, right, with him. So it was always head first slides and running out bases and doing all those little things that people just kind of fell in love with. Um, funny story, and this is a side note from baseball, but um, I don't even know why I thought of this, but when you saw it said P Rose, and this isn't because he got busted for gambling or anything like that, but my dad used to dog track race with Pete Rose, which is
Oh, fun.
so he would like, yeah. So he was, because he would just always call him Petey. He'd be like, hey, yeah, I was down there with Petey, dog track racing. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. But on the baseball side, I mean, he broke probably the most unbreakable record, the 41-92. I mean, and as a kid watching that and watching him do that was incredible. I mean, it's something that you thought would never be done, something you thought that never could be broken, and he broke it, and it was just it was a big night for the city. You know what I mean? It wasn't just about him breaking the record, but it was about what he meant as far as being a Cincinnati kid. Um, Coming back to Cincinnati to play, to beat that record, what was incredible, and to do it in Cincinnati. So a lot of cool things about Pete Rose. Whether you liked him as a person or not, what he meant to the game of baseball is what is important, and he meant a lot to the game. And I also remember those segments when he was on MLB Network, where he would be sitting like with Frank Thomas and A-Rod, and they were just sitting there listening to him. And these are two Hall of Fame dudes, Hall of Fame type player dudes, just sitting there listening and talking to Pete Rose about his approach to hitting, when he wanted to choke up on the bat, what size bat he used, how he got out of a slump, how he moved in the box, out of the box, up, back, like just sitting there. And these guys are just in awe, and they're enamored talking to Pete Rose about how he approached the game of hitting and how he was able to hit different pitchers and do different things. And yeah, dude, it was incredible to listen to. Kind of like when they did that with Tony Gwynn as well. Like when he would talk about hitting, when you hear guys that are just professional hitters who have hit the ball well for a long time talk about what they do and how they had success. That was cool to me, to watch those guys kind of be enamored with Pete Rose.
Yeah, and you kind of touched on it without really touching on it, but Pete Rose, the player, is who we are kind of remembering and everything like that. I mean, obviously, I don't even think I need to say obviously, but kind of a scumbag human being, but just the best player. One moment that really sticks out to me was, I think it might have been either the 73 or 75. I can't remember. But they were interviewing the other team, and I think it might have been the Red Sox, somebody on the Red Sox, and they said, Pete Rose would come up. I think it had to have been 74 or 73 because it was Game 7, and the catcher for the Red Sox tells the story of how Pete Rose comes up to the plate and he goes, "Man, isn't this great? Isn't like a kid playing ball? Like, this is great. This is so much fun. Like, I'm having like." You don't hear that out of guys now, but you didn't hear that out of guys then either. Like, you don't hear that out of professional ball players. It's like, man, this is fun. I'm having fun out here. Because obviously to them, it's a job, it's a business, and a career. So just that like childlike wonder on it all was so cool to not only hear other players tell that story, but you felt it. Like, you felt that watching Pete Rose play, that he was just a kid playing ball out there. No matter when
Yeah.
he was, I think what was he, 21 or 20 when I can't remember when
I think he
he
was, yeah. He might have been 20.
but he played like that 20-year-old kid his entire career, and it
Mhm.
spanned obviously a very long time. But man, just an incredible ball player. Obviously, like I said before, the inventor of Charlie Hustle, and just a, a joy to watch. You knew every night you were getting your money's worth watching Pete Rose.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it meant something to him, you know what I mean? Like for him to play hard every at bat, every play, like it meant something. Like he wasn't going to cheat the game of baseball.
No,
And
well, I
every
mean,
day,
did but
well, yeah, I meant the actual game,
you're right.
not not the not the gambling on him, not the gambling on his team part. The actual playing of the game. You know what I mean? But he was going to give it everything he had. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to sit there and watch him play night in and night out, and see how hard he played all the time.
Mm-hmm. No, well said. We got to move on because we got quite a few players to get through. Obviously, the
Oh, yeah.
Cincinnati Reds have a long, lengthy history. The next player I have kind of on our list is in that big red machine, career red, Johnny Bench. I mean, look, like I said, career red. This is the guy that was the franchise. I mean, they let Pete walk in free agency. They didn't keep at everybody from the team, but they kept good old Johnny Bench.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gosh, the thing that I remember about Johnny Bench is he made catching cool. Like as a kid, like nobody wanted to catch because you sat behind there, you're in that hot thing all the time. You're wearing a mask. It's 100 degrees. You're blocking balls. Balls are going all over the place. But Johnny Bench made that cool because he was the guy that was back there that had a rocket for an arm. He was throwing guys out left and right. He could hit home runs. He was doing all these different things. And he made it acceptable and fun to be a catcher. And I can remember distinctly as a kid, like I can remember like there were two or three of us that wanted to catch because we wanted to be like Johnny Bench because that's what was cool. And he was a guy that made it that way. And of course, I mean, there's other stuff too. I mean, his last game at Riverfront, he hits a home run.
Oh yeah.
Dude, the picture with him holding like the 8 baseballs. I think I had that picture up in my room, and he just grip like 8 or 9 baseballs in one hand, which was sick. But yeah, just all those things of where he made it cool to be a catcher because every time before, well, not really every time. I mean, there was guys like Carlton Fisk and things like that, but for us as Cincinnati people, like Johnny Bench made that cool and fun. And he would shoot commercials. He'd always, be in the public eye, just the coolest character. And those are the kind of the things that made him to me like a Cincinnati icon. Of course, arguably the greatest catcher to ever play the game. Could hit for power, could hit for average. Defensively, he was a defensive stalwart, could throw people out, could do all the things that hadn't been seen in catching in ever. When other great players and other catchers, can say you're the greatest, like that means something, and he was at the time the greatest, may still be the greatest catcher.
I have him as the greatest. And you're right. He had just that personality that he was on Letterman all the time. Or was it Letterman or Carson? He was on
Carson.
late night all the time.
He was Carson. He was with Carson all the time.
Yeah, he's on Carson all the time. He had the personality. He had the Johnny Bench Saturday morning bunch. And one thing that they don't like, I don't know, people don't quite remember about Johnny Bench was he was a tough SOB. I mean,
Yeah.
he was not backing down to anybody. No pitcher. He was not afraid to throw a guy out. He was not afraid to get in a guy's face. He was not afraid to get into an ump's face. I mean, he was a tough SOB coming out of Oklahoma, man. He was ready to take you down no matter what, whether it's hit a home run off of you or calling for a ball high and inside. He was not afraid of anybody out there.
Yeah, no, Johnny Bench, he was a tough-minded kid and a tough-minded player. And I think he kind of had to be that way. If I remember, he had a pretty rough childhood growing up. He had a pretty tough in Oklahoma, so he kind of ran that way. But yeah, I mean, he was a legit tough guy, and I mean, dude, if you're a catcher, dude, you gotta have a different mindset. I mean, because that's not an easy thing to do, especially back then. The equipment wasn't the greatest. Like we don't have all the technology and the knee pads where you can sit behind on the knee pads and do all that stuff like you do now. And it's super comfortable and the vests are all chilled and the helmets are cool. Like it wasn't that. It was literally hat, mask. Like that was it.
I mean, look at this picture here. There's no pad. It's squatting the whole game.
No padded, squatted, no nothing, dude. Like it was legit. Like here we are. We got a mask and a hat. Throw that thing on. A little light little vest in case a ball gets fouled off. I mean, but yeah, you had to be a tough individual.
And I don't know, it's something that's kind of lost amongst catchers now where they call the game, they're really in charge of the game. I mean, they're calling pitches, they're handling the pace of the game, they're picking off guys. So to do that on top of the defensive part of it, which is catching and fielding anything in your area, tagging guys out at home, on top of the offensive production that Johnny Bench gave you, really, really just like, I think catchers even today are underrated on how much they contribute to the game. Seth is in the chat. Hey, Seth.
Well, you got to think about this too. Like there are rules now to protect catchers. Like you can't. There's not a whole lot of like collisions at the plate. People are usually forced to slide. Like there weren't no rules. Like if you were standing there, even if the ball wasn't there, you were going to get hit. So I mean, there were no rules to protect catchers back in the day. So now like you have to have the ball in the hand before anybody can make contact with you, and all these you got to protect this side of the plate because you can't block the whole plate. Like no, there weren't no rules there, dude. They stood right in front and said, they stood in front of it and took the heat. So it was definitely a different ball game.
Yeah, for sure. But like you said, Johnny Bench, the greatest catcher of all time. I don't really need to hear an argument for Yadier Molina or anybody else like that. Johnny Bench, greatest catcher of all time. End of sentence.
Yep. No doubt about it.
The next person we have up on our kind of list of just running down memory lane. And like I said, feel free to put your players in the chat. We can talk through them, or if you have specific memories of the players that we're talking about, I'd love to hear your guys' storytelling of memories and stories. But the next up is the second Cincinnati kid, Barry Larkin. Let me get him added up on here. But I mean, this is the captain, man. This is the guy. This is Cincinnati's own and kept through and through, and something that they didn't. I mean, they still haven't given out a lot, but the captain, of the Reds. Yeah,
and I remember that was a big deal when he got that C. Man, it was pretty legit. I probably my fondest memory of Barry Larkin, and it's once again it's kind of related to like people around me and my family. Like my family were Ozzie Smith people. Like
Mm.
they loved Ozzie Smith. He would do the backflips, the wizard, which I was okay with. I had no issue with Ozzie Smith. But there were years where Barry Larkin was so much better than Ozzie Smith. And he would get snubbed on All-Star starts. And I would be so angry. I'm like, he's an All-Star, but he doesn't start. I'm like, dude, he is 1,000 times better than Ozzie Smith. Like I get it. Ozzie's the better fielder. But I mean, Barry Larkin was putting up some ridiculous numbers as an all-star. They're like, yeah, Ozzie's still going to start. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And I would have or knockdown dragouts with like my family and friends because they'd be like, oh, well, Ozzie Smith's this, that. I'm like, dude, Barry Larkin is so much better than Ozzie Smith. And it's not even close to me. But, Barry Larkin was a special player, man. And anybody that's able to be an MVP of anything is has legitimacy, right? Like he was able to be an MVP in 95. 96 he had a freaking phenomenal year too. So I mean he had some years there where he was just incredible. So to me it was always just fun to watch him play because he could do things and it didn't matter who he was playing around, whether it was Pokey Reese, whether it was Ron Oster, whether whoever the kid, like he always was able to do what he needed to do in order to make that team go. And there were a lot of times where he was playing on a lot of not very good teams, where he was by far the best player, and his demeanor never changed. He attacked the game the same way every single time, and he's a guy that I use an example because when he first got into majors when I was a kid, and we talked about this before, like he had a really bad issue with just being an error machine. Like he booted the ball when he first got in the league. He booted the ball all over the place, and I can remember like people were really upset with him because they were like he was replacing a legend. Like he was replacing, I believe it was
Concepcion.
So he was replacing a legend and he was booting the ball all over the place and people were losing their mind. By his third year, like 87, 87, he got better. 88, he became an all-star. And from then on, dude, he was just incredible. So to watch that maturity and growth from him, and when I was a kid watching him do what he did, and he was phenomenal as a player and as a captain.
Yeah, I mean, Seth has a great story in here. Larkin went years and years without a grand slam, and Seth was at Riverfront, right down the first baseline the night that he hit a grand slam. And that is something that I don't know. Oh, I didn't mean to get rid of the image, but it's fine. That is something that isn't brought up a ton of Larkin, and is kind of like the grand slam hit, the big hit. He was never super known for that, but he was just such a well-rounded ball player. I mean, he hit for average, he hit for power. He was obviously a Gold Glover and just a leader in the clubhouse, and that's something that I would say the Reds have never replaced. Is that A1 caliber leader? Now, granted, they have Tito. You kind of expect it's obviously different nowadays. You expect your manager to kind of be more of a leader. But as far as an on the field leader, I mean, it didn't get better than Barry Larkin.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He was a guy that everybody looked to, and man, you bring up a really good point. Like what he was able to do leadership wise in the clubhouse, also with his play, it hasn't been done. Like it really hasn't. Like he was able to, and he molded two generations, right? So like he was a part of that old that old 80s Reds coming out of that kind of era, going into this new era of the late 90s, early 2000s. And he kind of molded generations of Reds together. Like he was kind of that in-between guy that saw both generations. And he was able to kind of give that new generation kind of that kind of the history and kind of give them direction of what being a part of the Reds franchise is, because he was a part of the older generation and a part of the newer generation. He had a really distinct connection to both.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that is you're right. He's the linchpin between Pete Rose and Dave Concepcion to Joey Votto. Like, he is the linchpin between those two kind of eras of players. And then it's played with Dave Parker and Junior and even Senior. I mean, so you're right. He definitely was the linchpin between, I would say, generations of Reds fans. Because obviously they weren't too great when they tore down the Big Red Machine, and obviously came back in on the 90s series. And they were really good team throughout the 90s, really.
Yeah. I mean, and he was kind of that in between guy that saw all of that, man. Like, which is crazy to think about his longevity on how long he was able to play at a high level. I think he finished 19 years, I believe. And I mean, he saw it all. I mean, he was there for the lean years after the Big Red Machine. He was there for the 90s World Series, all through the 90s of them making the playoffs, making runs, all the way to, like you said, to the Vottos and the Jay Bruces and he was there for all that stuff.
Yeah. And still with the club, obviously calling games, and it's fun to have him around. But I want to turn to, I think, all of our favorites. And teammate, standout player, Eric Davis.
Yes.
I want to play my favorite moment from Eric Davis. Game 1 of the 1990.
Please be
World
Game
Series.
1, 1990. Off of Dave Stewart. Dude, that's
Runner gone. Fly ball to deep center field. Huggy back. It's going to go.
Incredible. High top red Knights. Oh man. The absolute coolest, dude.
He is the coolest.
Dude, he was that was incredible. Yeah, that was my moment. Him and the Ray Knight fight. That one too was fucking incredible. The Ray Knight fight was awesome. But no, dude, Eric Davis, like he was the guy. Like that stand, everyone wanted to emulate that stance.
The stance. That was my batting stance growing up.
Dude, it was everybody's. Everybody went out and bought high top red cleats. Like everybody went out and bought armbands. Everybody pimped the bases after they hit a home run. Like I can distinctly remember as a kid hitting my first home run and pitter-patting the bases like Eric Davis. Like I can remember it. I can remember wearing 44 as a kid. He was so cool. And in 1987, I think he hit 4 grand slams in the season or something insane. But I can just remember him just being so electric. And I can remember after he hit that home run, I knew we were going to win the series. It was game 1.
Yep.
And I was like, dude, we've got this series. This is ours. Because here, remember, going into that, Dave Stewart was Mr. Invincible. Nobody could touch Dave Stewart. You couldn't touch him. And freaking our best player versus their best player, and he just freaking smashed a home run off of him. I'm like, yeah, dude, we got this.
Not even down the right field line or left field line, dead center.
Dead center. There's nothing more humiliating when as a pitcher to watch a dude take you 400 feet dead center to start like to any time. You know what I mean? So like for him to do that was just incredible. And you know, it was awesome to see. But the whole team was that way. Everybody on that team carried his swagger. I mean, from Billy Hatcher to Barry Larkin to all
the Nasty Boys.
The Nasty Boys. They all carried that swagger, and he was like the leader of that. And everybody knew, like once Eric Davis got going, like that was it. Like that was the thing. But dude, he was the epitome of cool, and he gets lost in the shuffle because he had so many good years as a Red, but everybody only thinks about the times he got injured. But if you go back and look at his run between 84 to like 88 or 87 or 88, dude, he was one of the top 10 baseball players in the world. He was incredible. He was one. He was one. Yeah.
I mean,
like he could steal bases. He could freaking hit bombs. He batted like 275, 280. He was just incredible. He was absolutely incredible. So fun to watch. It was him and like Darryl Strawberry. Like those two are always like neck and neck as best players to me.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's sad with all the injuries and just some of the other health issues that went on with Eric Davis. Obviously you had the ruptured kidney in the 1990 World Series. He had to take a year or so off to colon cancer. And then just couldn't stay that high level of consistency that he showed all the way in the early parts of his career. But I mean, when we say like Ellie De La Cruz is an electric factory, he wears 44 in homage to Eric Davis, because Eric Davis was the original electric factory. Everything he did was cool. Everything he did like was exciting. He was can't miss TV. And obviously we're skewed because we're Reds fans and kind of grew up around this, but like he was like, you could not take your eyes off the screen. He would make incredible catches out in center field. He would, like you said, hit a ball 450 foot dead center and not even flip the bat. He would just set it down. Like Seth says, like, you don't need a bat flip when you're Eric Davis. You just drill it.
Yeah. No, yeah, he was incredible, dude. Yeah, it was just, he was just awesome. And that, like, I'm looking at the picture you got up there because that was when they made the wristbands and they had their faces on them. And they had their faces on them. So you can get your own face on your wristbands. And they would rock those, dude. Oh, my gosh. It was incredible. It was absolutely.
These are also my favorite uniforms.
Oh, yeah, by far.
I love the pullover uniforms. Yes. I want them to go back. These are so clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, you lose the dumb drop shadow on the Reds. Like, I want them to go back to this.
Yeah, so those are right there, so crispy. Yeah, those are legit. But yeah, man, he was just the absolute coolest, and was so good.
Oh, so good. All right, we got to keep it moving. We're only like halfway through our list.
I know.
The next guy we got, it has to be the kid, Ken Griffey Jr. Obviously, I'll play. I have another video clip of my favorite moment from him, but I just remember when that happened and Griffey's coming home. He's coming home, like all the excitement around that and just like what that meant for a team that was great. Like that Reds team was really good before they got Griffey. So and he was coming off of being the face of baseball, obviously crushing it out there in Seattle. But my favorite moment was probably a bit later in the career, but home run 500 on Father's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Against Matt Morris in his career, and officially counting today is 2 for 11 against the Cardinals right-hander. The pitch. And a high drive. Hit back into deep right field. Junior has just knocked the door down to the 500 club. A high drive into the lower deck and right. Number 30 touches them all. And boy, what a Father's Day gift for Senior. The dugout empties as he rounds third, getting the glad hand from Mark Berry. Greeted at home plate by Adam Dunn. Now Jason LaRue, followed by Sean Casey. And each of them will get a piece of Ken Griffey Jr. before he gets back into the dugout, hitting his 500th home run to right field. Leading off this sixth inning, and last but not least, manager Dave Miley. And now Junior running down toward the area where his mom and dad sit, and he is there with his father for a big Father's Day hug. What a scene this is here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Looking for his youngsters, and Trey, his oldest, comes up. They're all down there, his wife Melissa. What a scene. Junior doffs his helmet to the crowd, and what an ovation they give him here in St. Louis. Great baseball fans in this town, and it was quite a sight.
Yeah, just that was so cool just to see him do that and find his dad in the crowd, and obviously the history with Senior just being here. Junior was the best. He was the best, man.
Yeah. Gosh, honestly, there's not enough like adjectives or words to describe Ken Griffey Jr. And not, of course, we're talking about him as a Red, but just as a baseball player in general.
Yeah.
Like he was just, everybody thinks about like the backwards hat and all the just flair and charisma. But Junior, for a kid that played baseball, like it was like watching a hero come to life.
Yeah.
Like he was just like, you just couldn't believe that a guy like him existed and could do all the things that he was able to do at such a high level. And then on top of that, like he's from where you're from. Like he's from your city. Like he played up the street from you. Like it's incredible to think about that. And then to watch him just do all that. And then all of a sudden, like they announced that he's going to be traded to the Reds. And of course, back then, everything moved a little bit slower because, right now we got everything in the touch of our hands and everything like that.
Right.
But dude, like to realize that he was going to be a Cincinnati Red, that was just so cool. Like, and not the fact that, like, not only just the fact that he was going to be a Red, but like you said, like he was going to be a guy added to a team that was already pretty good.
Yeah.
And have a chance to do the things he did. Now, unfortunately, the injury bug and things like that, and you can't, but all the things that he was able to do, his 500 home run, his 600 home run, the inside the park home run that he had, like that was incredible. All the things that he meant to the city, regardless of injury or anything like that. Like he still meant so much to the city, and so much to the fans. And, it was just so cool to have him as a Cincinnati Red. Like it meant a lot to people in our community and baseball fans in general to see him become a Red. And it was fun. It was good times.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was pandemonium having Griffey come home. Obviously, the Griffey family mean a lot here in Cincinnati, and so to see Griffey navigate his way to the Reds and stay as long as he did was incredible. It was unfortunate to kind of see him see father. I would say see Father Time catch up to him as a Red, because he was indestructible. He was Mr. Indestructible in Seattle, and
yeah.
all those wall hits and dives and all that stuff just caught up to him pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, while he was a Red, but it doesn't discount anything that he did while he was here. I mean, still hit home run 500 and 600 here in Cincinnati. So, the outfield prowess definitely took a dip. Keeping him on the field took a dip, but when he was on the field, it was fun. It was he kind of epitomizes that Pete Rose quality like before, where like he was the kid just playing, having fun out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's what everybody remembers the most, right? Like his childlike exuberance for the game of baseball. Like,
yes,
he just looked like a guy that was out there, which, God had granted him just an insane amount of baseball ability, but he was still just a kid having fun. Like, he enjoyed the game. He loved the game. And I think that was part of that persona where, like, you rock your hat backwards when you're having fun and you're just playing the game of baseball. Like, the game is not meant to be serious. The game is a game for a reason. So, and I think he never lost that part. I think he always had it, even through the injuries, even through getting older. He never lost that kind of just like childlike fun he had. And I think that's what I kind of remember the most. I mean, he's, of course, he's already a Hall of Famer and he did all those just incredible things and baseball feats, but what he meant to the game of baseball and how he played the game of baseball, as a teammate, as a player, it's never lost on me that he just played the game having fun, man. Like, and that's how you're supposed to play it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going on long tonight, but
we may have to do round 2 next week.
We might have to. I'm going to skip ahead a little, but
because we can talk for hours about some of these dudes, man. Like, it's
for sure,
because they meant so much. Like, not only just to the Reds, but just the game of baseball.
Absolutely. I do want to hit on one of my favorite moments. And players of the moment. It's Todd Frazier, home run derby here in Cincinnati. It was the first All-Star game in Cincinnati that I can remember, because it was a long time before. It was a very long time since it was in Cincinnati, and I think the first time since in Great American Ballpark.
Yeah.
But to see that the festivities were so fun, and to see all that stuff happening was so fun. But Todd Frazier taking home the home run derby, that was so fun. I know Todd has a couple of decent moments with the Reds, but this was like one of the best moments as a Red. And I remember watching this and losing my mind.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he when they say, like, you put on for the city, like, he put on for the city. Like, he was on fire. And everybody knew once he came up and started to get into his groove, like, it was meant to be. Like, it was storybook. And there's nothing like winning that in your home ballpark, because every inch of that place. You're there every day. So, I mean, there's nothing like winning it in front of your hometown fans, in front of your family. And you're an all-star. You're there in the all-star game in your own city. Like you couldn't write a better script. You know what I mean? So, for him to come through, and not only that, like, he dominated. Like, he was just crushing balls. So it was a lot of fun to watch. And like you said, he had a ton of really good moments. As the Todd father, but that one is by far the best.
Yeah, absolutely. rapid dash here. I got one more I want to skip to.
Oh yeah.
Let me stop sharing here. Seth puts in here that we'll do round 2 on the Riverfront Reds show. That's fine with me. We could do this all day. You know, there's videos out there of like, what do guys do when they hang out? And it's like, oh, we just draft the best second baseman of all time or something. Like this is like that for us.
Yeah, no doubt.
So the last guy we got to talk about, I mean, it's got to be Joey Votto. Joey Votto was, I mean, obviously career Red, fan favorite, MVP, should be 2-time MVP. Got robbed from Giancarlo Stanton that 2017 year, but I mean, what is there? What do you have to say for Joey Votto?
Honestly, like I said, it's a anytime you're named MVP of anything, you're great. Like
yeah,
that's incredible in itself. Joey Votto to me, like he's one of the guys that like I just was in awe of because his game was so simple, but it was if you're a baseball person, it was so good.
Yeah.
Like people don't understand. Like everybody kind of clowned him for like always wanting to be on base and on base percentage and blah 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 blah, and the walks and stuff like that. But if you understand the game of baseball and you understand how he correlated those walks and getting on base to trying to be a part of drive-in runs, then you understand. But then the second part of that too is that the dude could hit for power. You know he could hit for average. And he became a really good defensive first baseman. On top of that, like he's arguably probably, up there as one of the greatest Reds to ever play. He was able to do a lot of things well. And he meant a lot to a team that sometimes struggled. You know what I mean? Joey Votto, there were a lot of years where he was the only bright spot to the Reds. You know what I mean? So he meant a lot.
Well aware.
Yeah. I mean, he meant a lot to a team that, where the team was struggled, but you still had Joey Votto. He was kind of that beacon of light, and you would hope that, they would build around him, and, that's another story for another day. But Joey Votto to me is, outside of Eric Davis, Joey Votto is my favorite Red of all time.
Yeah, to me, the one thing that I loved about Joey Votto is I'm going to do something in spite of whatever anybody says. I'm going to hit 37 home runs. I'm just going to hit 37 home runs because everybody says I'm not a power hitter. Does it? I'm going to lead the league in doubles because everybody says, oh, you just walk too much. Lead the league in doubles.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're not very good at defense. Gold Glover. I'll go win a Gold Glove. I'll go win an MVP. Like he did things in spite of what people would say about him or anything like that. And like that, I just love that. I just love the like, oh, you said I can't? Well, watch me exceed beyond that. I'm just looking at his baseball reference page and it's ridiculous. I mean, a career 144 OPS plus, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
A career 409 on base percentage, a career just under 300 batting average at 294. Like he led the league in walks 5 years. He led the league in on base 7 years, led the league in doubles 1 year, led the league in games played twice, led the league in plate appearances once, led the league in OPS with a 160. And that's not even his best OPS year, but led the league that year. I mean, there's just bold all over this page, and it's incredible. I mean, he was is the best. I don't want to say he was like, but like
Right.
he is the best, and just getting to see him all those years, and obviously, like you said, a pity that the team didn't do anything while you had that guy. But it's just so good. I mean, 3 years. For 3 years, he had a 7 WAR, which is incredible.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing that like to me, he was the epitome of being consistent. He was the most consistent player that we've probably had. Like a down year for Votto is a WAR of like 5.9. Like that's a down year.
That
You know
one,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like you know what I mean? Like he was just incredible. And the cool thing too is you look at this thing, games played 151, 150, 161, 162, 158, 158, 162, 145, 142. Like the dude played. Like
Yeah.
he played. There was, I mean, he was in you could pencil him in the lineup almost every night.
It's incredible. And like I'm looking at the strikeout numbers, 135 was his highest. And that was the year that he had 143 walks. I mean, he had more walks than strikeouts almost every year.
Yeah.
Almost every year he had more walks than strikeouts, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Seth puts in here, the problem is you put any of these players on this lineup, like this lineup is over the moon, like way better. And that might be what they're missing is a consistent king, a ball player leader, because everybody that we've talked about in their own way, and maybe not Todd Frazier, but they were like leaders on the field. And I will say, like, that does seem to be something missing with this team in the sense of like on the field leaders. I know Jonathan India might have been the closest we've gotten, but even with all the talent they have, there's no like stand out, like when this guy speaks, everybody listens player.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's weird that when we bring up putting him in. So just think about this. The lineup we had this year, you add 2017 Joey Votto to that lineup, where his WAR was a 7.9. He played all 162 games. He hit 36 home runs, drove in 100 runs, walked 134 times. His on-base percentage that year, 454. You put that guy on this roster and tell me we're not better.
Only struck out 83 times too. That's incredible.
Yeah. I mean it's like it's almost it's kind of weird and sad in a way that he was so good on some teams that weren't very good, because it gets lost. Like people that know Joey Votto know how good Joey Votto was, but normal people are like, Joey Votto was okay, but like there's people questioning if Joey Votto belongs in the Hall of Fame. Like
first ballot,
like are you
unanimous?
Yeah, like it's not even close. It's not even close. Like how is that a question?
Well, I think when people tune in from like 2020 on, that's obviously, I mean, he's almost 40 years old at that point, rotator cuff surgery, which is horrendous. The other thing about that 2017 year, he led the league 3 times with intentional walks.
Yeah.
Like not a humongous power hitter. Like you normally intentionally walk like Barry Bonds, Aaron Judge. They're intentionally walking Joey Votto.
Yeah.
And I mean, 18 times, 19 times, 20 times. Those are 3 times that he led the league in intentional walks, which is incredible.
Yeah, that shows you, dude. When a guy doesn't have per se power numbers, but they're still afraid of him, and in clutch situations, that tells you how good Joey Votto was. Because they weren't afraid of the home run, but they knew if Joey Votto's likeliness of getting a hit in a clutch situation was going to hurt you more than just putting him on base.
Yeah, and I mean, we could go on and on about Joey. Honestly, we could do several series and episodes about Joey Votto.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, that's our guy, man. I mean, I would say I kind of grew up with Joey Votto. Like, he was drafted in 03, didn't start until like 06, right? Oh yeah, 07. And God, where was I in 07? I would have like just been in junior high in 07. So like going through all of junior high, high school, college, getting married, like beyond, like Joey Votto was like the consistency in all of that. And he will be in the Hall of Fame, no doubt. The Reds need to like already have plans to put a statue up. Like I'm excited to see how they honor Votto because he deserves so much more than they ever gave him.
Oh yeah. And unceremoniously how they kind of disposed of him in a way. Like, I mean, he just deserves so much more for what he meant to the city. And what he meant to the Reds. I mean, there were times nationally he was the only reason why people would even pay attention to the Reds. Like we were so bad, but we still had Votto. So man, people were like, oh yeah, like they still got Joey Votto, so you got a chance. But yeah, he needs a statue. 19 needs to be retired. He needs a statue. He needs to go in the Hall of Fame. Like he needs all the accolades.
Absolutely. And yeah, I know we got Tito now, but like, how fun would Joey Votto, the manager, be? Like, so fun. Could you imagine Joey Votto coming out of the dugout to bark at a ref?
Bark at a fish.
I mean, like that would be so fun.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
All right. Well, we've been on long enough. We've kept everybody long enough. Hopefully, enjoyed our scoring tally tonight. And we'll probably do this again this offseason. This was fun, and we have a lot more players to chew through. We skipped quite a few to kind of keep this condensed to about an hour.
Yeah.
But I will say the Riverfront Red Show will be back this week. Seth took a week off just like we did. Recharge, recoup. So definitely go check out Seth's show this week. Use our code Riverfront to get $20 off your first purchase through SeatGeek. That can be Bengals games. They're probably giving tickets away at this point because today's loss was so pitiful. But it could be anything. It could be Disney on Ice. It could be whatever you want to go see. But use our code Riverfront to get $20 off your first purchase through SeatGeek. We encourage everybody to join our ever-growing Cincinnati sports fandom and support the show through Patreon. It's patreon.com/RiverfrontCincy. Any pricing level will get you access to our Slack channel, which is so fun, so incredible. You get to hang out with us and Seth and Owen and Caroline. We're all in there just talking it up. So go do that and support the show. Go like and subscribe over on YouTube. You'll get not only latest content from us, but also from the Riverfront Red Show and Welcome to the Jungle. Follow us online at Riverfront Cincy. And please subscribe to the audio version of this podcast for free. We're on all of them. If you give us a rating and review, that'd be great. And tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't. We're just Cincinnati sports fans trying to make a good show for other Cincinnati sports fans. So for that, he's Ben Brown. I'm Skylar Webker. Have a good night.